Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I do apologize that I haven't been keeping up with the updates. Again, I did just start getting back into some college studying, so it's becoming really difficult to find time to do these YouTube videos anymore. But again, I'll try my best to keep up with stuff, especially since tomorrow is the new updates and things like that. But with that being said, I did want to respond to a request that said if I could try and show how I completed round 14 of the Hades Cup. So pretty much the best advice for this one is you have to plow through it. You have to go through this as best as you can with the medals that you have that hit the least. So let me show you what my setup was. So this was the basis of my setup. The Sora Kingdom Hearts 3 EX has ground minus 60 on it, and so does the Key Art 9, again, ground minus 60, as well as the shared medal that I used, which was this one, which also has ground minus 60 on it. So the main thing you want to keep in mind with this one is that, one, you are going to need a defensive medal to keep you going. So that's Hainer Pencil Lead, Pootigger, and Rabbit, with an occasional defense boost every now and again proccing just to keep you alive. And the reason I say this is because this battle does become one of attrition, because one of the enemies you fight actually heals all three of them altogether. And if you can't push out enough damage to take out that one part while it's healing, eventually it'll just outrace you in healing, and you run into a problem where it's healing all the time and you can't get any damage in. So you want to keep that hit counter low. So for example, Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora EX only hits 5 times. Key Art 9 is going to hit 9 times. And then again, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora EX that I'm using only hits 5 times. So you're going to want to keep that hit counter low, because if you're using a lot of attacks that do a high number of hits, you're going to keep activating that heal, and that's actually going to make it longer, if not impossible, for you. So I'll go ahead and jump right in and show you how I dealt with this boss personally. So the boss has a counter, and when you drop that counter to 0, she'll drop a cage on you and paralyze you. The left cat can buff the other two when its hit counter hits 0, and then the right cat, as I was saying earlier, it can heal the other part, and that's essentially the one you have to beat up, because if you can't beat that up, if you can't outrace the healing, then you're just going to keep running into problems when it comes to trying to knock out everything there. So when you run into single target medals like Hainer Pencil and Lead, you're going to want to aim them at that bottom left cat, because that is the one that has the least amount of repercussions. Again, it's just a buff to the other two, which isn't nearly as significant as getting hit with paralysis from the boss counter or the heal from the right cat. So again, after you do all that, after you prepare all that stuff, you just gotta plow through the enemy. You have to be able to dish out more damage than that right cat can heal, which I believe is about plus 30 bars of health. So you just gotta outrace it, and once you defeat that cat, the rest of it just becomes, again, just a battle of attrition. Hainer Pencil Lead or Pootigger and Rabbit doing most of the work for you there. Alright, so I do get the second chance too, and I do keep my defense buffs. Let's see if I can draw this out. So I am going to hit here. I'm going to get hit with that paralysis and or poison coming from that cage. So it skips my defensive medals, and now I'm in a tight spot, because that cat at the bottom is going to get its heal off, and I'm pretty much defenseless at that point. So I'm going to need either a defense boost to activate on all the attacks, or... oh, no, see, that's it. So there is a little bit of RNG involved, just because you have to survive. You have to have defense boost activate, you have to have the paralysis not hit you at the wrong times. So I'll go ahead and give it another go, and see if I can get it done this time. But with these last few rounds, there is quite a bit of RNG involved. RNG, for those of you who don't know, means random number generate, meaning it's kind of like the random occurrence of something going off. Like you having paralysis on you and missing your medal, that's RNG. Or defense boost activating, that is also RNG. So yeah, unfortunately with these last two rounds, that definitely has a play in if you're able to make it or not. So again, I'm going to stick to the same strategy. I'm going to just try and plow him down, because if you can't outrace the healing, you're not going to be able to defeat the enemy. Alright, I'm going to try and be a little bit smarter about it this time. So I'm going to tap that lower right one. I'm going to get my buffs. And then I'm also going to get my defensive heal here. So what I did last time is that I used the special attack of the Kyrie, and that actually played against me. So let's go ahead and try this setup here. Alright, so the cage is going to come down on me, and the heals are going to go off, the buffs are going to go off. But let's see if I can make it work. Alright, there's the heal. And then I do get my activation of my Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora EX Shared Medal. Now I need RNG to work in my favor because I'm about to get hit with poison too. So I have to survive the poison. Okay. And then I get my heals off. See, so you didn't see it there. I almost got knocked out. I was literally, the thing was flashing green saying I was about to get destroyed. But that's what I mean when I say RNG plays a factor into you being able to win this round. Alright, hopefully this turn I'll be able to knock out that lower left cat, because it's just causing problems. It's making this battle longer than anyone wants it to be. Alright, this should be enough to take it out. There we go. So once you take out that lower right cat, you don't have to worry about healing anymore. All you gotta do is make sure the paralysis doesn't, destroy you too much. And that lower right cat doesn't prove to be a problem at all once you knock out that healing one. Alright, see, it's going to get some buffs. Again, the paralysis could screw you over like it did right there for me, so I didn't get my 0.2 Kyrie activation, and that's going to severely decrease the amount of damage I'll be able to do this turn. But I'm still going to keep pushing, because, again, you don't want to draw this out too long. The longer you draw it out, the more that paralysis could damage you, the more poison could hurt you. So you want to try and keep this as short of a fight as possible. Alright, see, the poison hits me. I'm still good because I didn't get those extra attack hits by the right cat, which I took care of on the last round. And yeah, from here on out, it's pretty straightforward. Once you take out that bottom left cat, you just have to run over the other two. Hopefully your setup is, again, strong enough to run over the other parts of the boss. But that's it. That's pretty much the general strategy for how to defeat this enemy. Oh. Poison. Ooh, that's close. That's really close. I'm gonna move that to show you how close it was. 73 health. That's what I'm left with. So again, RNG, it does play into this. It does kind of determine whether or not you'll survive all the rounds. But once you knock out that bottom right cat, the rest of it is cake. You just keep running them. And again, you run into RNG with that cage because it can cause poison and paralysis, and that could hurt you a lot. Alright, but I should be able to get it in the next turn. So she's going to hit me with that wand thing. I'm going to get my 2 attacks in. She's going to drop the cage on me. But as long as paralysis doesn't prevent me from using my other medals, this should be done. Alright, so I get my heal off of Painter Pencilette. Let's see if I can just take it out with my remaining medals. There we go. So, like I said, RNG does play enough factor here. If you are limited on medals that you can use for damage pushing, try using single target medals that'll target just that lower right cat, because again, once you knock that out, the rest of it becomes significantly easier because you don't have to worry about healing, you don't have to worry about drawing out the battle any longer than you need to. So those are all my tips for round 14. That's how I beat it. You just saw me do it right there. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I know it says there's only 23 hours left, but hopefully this helps someone who's doing that last minute push. And as always, until the next video, everyone, take it easy.